Yo, yo, yo. We are live. Testing audio. All right, we got one person. Hello. What's up, Elixir fam? Got some serious coding to do, so we're going to get started probably right on time. Start getting set up here. Oh, what's up, Leandro? How you doing, man? Leandro, we've got to talk about Beam CMS sometime soon. I am Beacon CMS, not Beam CMS. I am very excited about it, and was just listening to some of the updates coming out of Thinking Elixir today. Very exciting. I know you got Igniter tasks. It's partially what inspired me to do this. So thank you for making that happen. Actually haven't looked at your implementation on purpose because I didn't want to bias myself. We've got two people. Oh, back to one. Oh, thanks to Zach. Yes, Zach was at the last live stream and he was very helpful. Let's see how we're doing on time. All right, we're at 11. All right, so starting the live stream. All right, let's start by reviewing what we did last time. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Entire screen. Whoa, we're now in the vortex. Okay. All right, let's get onto GitHub. Let's see what we did last time. So last time we started building a OpenTelemetry installer called OTel installer. We're putting it in this this repo right now. My plan is that we will get this into OpenTelemetry proper. So there is two repos. There is OpenTelemetry Erlang, and there is OpenTelemetry contrib. Let's see, where's contrib? Erlang. Let's search for Erlang. Okay. API is archived. There's contrib. There's OpenTelemetry Erlang. The experience that I think we'll want is something of this effect, where user comes in and they do like mix igniter install, spell it right, install OpenTelemetry, or maybe even just OTel. Now, I know that by default, and we can maybe look at this today, I know by default that the hex package name is kind of tied to this. And I'm not sure if there's a way to provide aliases or whatnot, or how that even gets registered. So that's something we'll have to investigate, but not the first problem to solve. So we'll kick that can down the road and think about that in a bit. For today, I want us to kind of finish what we started. So let's open up that mix task and take a look and review. God, I keep clicking on the same thing. Okay. So what we have is we have an igniter mix task template. It adds the dependencies for the raw OTel dependencies, so the exporter, OpenTelemetry, the API. We then started to configure runtime.exs to add a little bit about basic configuration, these two things. And then that's kind of where we left off. Actually, we did do something else that was interesting, Igniter. So we did contribute a few small PRs back to Igniter. This was the biggest one. So the thing that we noticed was that app module from Igniter was returning a tuple when we expected it to return just this module. So we fixed that. Zach helped us. We found a few bugs along the way, wrote some tests. That was pretty cool. Look at that. Look at all that code. Yeah, so I guess let's see if there was a new version since then. I didn't expect there to be, but I suppose it could be. 17 hours ago. Okay, so we've got a new version. I know that Zach has a project called GitOps, which I think manages a lot of this. So let's see which version our contribution got pulled into. Wow, a lot of versions. There it is. Handle app module. Okay, so we're in 0377. Let's go ahead and open our code. Working on some live view stuff today at TV Labs. Actually, before we get into that, so we're going to get into that in a second. Let's check the chat. Cool, we got 2 people, and let's just promote Codebeam Lite NYC, which is next week. We have a really awesome lineup. Sam Aaron's going to be there. Flora Pedersen, who I was hanging out with in Codebeam EU a few weeks ago. Sergey, he was in the book Flash Boys by Michael Lewis. Mackenzie Morgan's been a longtime speaker. Zach, oh man. I'm really excited for Ben Marks's talk. Also really excited for Thomas's talk. Thomas has had a interesting presence on Twitter for some time now. Oh man, and Carlo. Carlo has been doing all of the drawings for so many different Elixir conferences. He did a live drawing of each talk for MPEX last year, and he's going to be actually back, but to speak this time, which I think is really, really cool. Oh my God, Paulo is going to be there. I love Paulo. He's going to be building Instagram-like filters with LiveView and NX, which I think is cool. So if you're in the New York area or just want to make it a last-minute flight, no big deal. Come on in. I'll be there. Sweet. Okay. Plugged it. Let's move on. Let's go to our Igniter script. So we have 2 things. We have the OTel installer, and we also have our live chat example repo. So this is just for actually testing that it's working. So let's get into here. Let's do hotel installer. Let's do live chat example. Cool. Let's do something very important. Let's take a sip of coffee. At some point, my dogs are going to bark because that's just what they do. So FYI on that. Okay, so forgot what it's called. Mix. It was here. Mix hotel installer.install. Let's see what happens. Where are we at? Okay, so this is what we have right now. So it adds these dependencies to mix.exs. Great. It adds this to runtime. I don't think this is like all of the options that we're going to want to provide, but I think it is a decent starting point. So cool, great. All right, let's go ahead and open up this blog post. So I mentioned that, yes, Carlos's drawings are amazing. Let's open up this blog post. So I think the cool thing that I'd like to do today is this part. Okay, so we did like the really basic stuff where we're pulling in the dependencies. It's important that OpenTelemetry exporter is first, which it is, great. What would be cool is if we can detect, all right, you have Absinthe in your repo, install Absinthe only if you have it installed, install Cowboy only if you have Cowboy installed, et cetera, et cetera. And then there is some like repo specific or bridge library specific setup that we need to do. So like, for example, if you have Cowboy, we'll add the dependency for Cowboy. We'll also need to inject this setup block into your application start. And then for some, like the OpenTelemetry Phoenix, we'll also need to inject a plug into your router. Wow. Okay, and then we haven't done this yet, so this is something we'll need to do. We started doing this. We didn't do this. Okay. So let's ask the chat. I think there's two different directions we could go. One is we can like get a full working example, which is like probably a lot of boring stuff. I'm priming you here. You know, adding more configuration, more configuration, more configuration, more configuration. Or we could do the interesting thing, which is we could do the library detection plus injection. We've got two people, so let's see. Leandro, thoughts? Do the boring part. Derek. Hi, Derek. Derek, are you being sincere? Should we do the boring part? Oh, man. All right, well, we've got a split vote. So I could either be the tiebreaker or we can get a consensus. Leandro, will you come across to Derek's side? Derek likes boring. Okay, all right. Derek has come around. All right, well, I'm very excited to see you here, Derek. Tristan said he might stop by, but he's not here. So who knows? Maybe he'll hop in at some point. Okay, well, wow, you guys have convinced me to do the exciting thing. Can't believe I wanted to do the boring thing so bad, but there we are. Okay, so I think let's start by let's find out the easiest one to do first, or maybe the hardest one. Let's do the hardest one. So the hardest one, I guess, is you've got Phoenix. So okay, this is what's tricky. Let's take a look at Ecto, right? So OpenTelemetry Ecto. it's one thing to be like, all right, I'm going to go and look at my mixed dependencies, find ecto, be like, cool, you've got ecto, and then we're done. But we actually don't depend on ecto directly. We depend on ecto SQL and then transitively depend on ecto. So I think the correct way to do this would be to look at the lock file. And inside the lock file, we would see that you've got ecto. Let's look at Igniter and see kind of what it supports in terms of that. I just simply don't know. Okay, so we know that we have features for adding dependencies. So add dependency, get dependency declaration, gets the current dependency. Okay, so we can get dependencies from mix.exs. I'm not seeing a lock file. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't do it ourselves. Although I do think it would be pretty cool. I mean, I don't want to turn this into more PRs to Igniter, but maybe we should just do more PRs to Igniter. Okay, so the thing that I'm thinking here is if we want to do ecto detection, I suppose we could just check if you have ecto SQL or ecto. It's actually pretty reasonable that if you're using ecto, you're most likely using ecto SQL. And in fact, if you want to use the bridge library, I don't think there's any interesting events that come just for ecto. It's all the database interaction. Whereas ecto, you don't get any database interaction. That all comes in this package. So, okay, I've convinced that we don't need the lock file. I've just convinced myself, at least for ecto. What does the chat think? Chat's silent. Okay, they agree. I can hear them nodding their heads. Okay. So for ecto, okay. For Phoenix, Phoenix is obvious. What about Bandit? So I know that Bandit, we do have Bandit here. The last time I checked, Bandit did not have great support for OTel, and it was being held up by something in OTel. Let's see. OpenTelemetry Bandit crashed last week. Wow. Bandit. Okay, I think Bandit was merged in at some point. I remember there being a more specific ticket, but okay. All right, so I think we could do Bandit. We could definitely do Cowboy. I think we should start with Phoenix would be this one. All right, we're going to start with Phoenix. And in order to start with Phoenix, we also need to do Cowboy and Bandit in the sense that we at least need to know if you're using Cowboy or Bandit because of this. You have to tell OpenTelemetry Phoenix which adapter you're using. Let's do it. All right. So where do we leave off? Hotel installer. Install. There we go. Okay. So let's do install bridge libraries as a function. That takes our igniter. Great. Okay, so let's split this up into individual things. I think we're just going to allow list this. So, I mean, we're not going to build like some like, I think we basically should aim to support all of the things that are in contrib. So instrumentation, I think. Yeah, so ultimately we should support all of these. is the goal. And there's not going to be like a plugin system in the sense that like you can add your own for the installer. It's just we support these. That's what it is. So in that sense, I think what we could do is we could build a libraries list of the libraries. And so the first one is, how do we want to do this? So there's a bridge library name. So in this case, it's OpenTelemetry Phoenix. Telemetry Phoenix. There's then the library or the dependency that we need to check. I think we're just going to do it. Let's just make it a list. Okay. So we're going to reduce over libraries. And for each one of them, we'll just have a separate function. So we'll do install bridge library. Then we'll get the library name, and we will pass the igniter first. Cool. Okay. Okay, so first off, we have OpenTelemetry Phoenix. So what we want to do is, the first thing we want to do is, one, check if it's in the dependencies. If it's not, abort. If it is, add bridge library. If it is, one, add the bridge library as a dependency. Add any bridge library specific configuration. So for Phoenix, we have to add the plug to, I think, the endpoint in a very specific location. Is there anything else we need to do? I think what we'll also want to do here is we don't want, like, for example, here, if we detect your Cowboy, your Phoenix installation is using Cowboy, we're not also trying to install Cowboy at this point. We'll do that separately. So we can ignore that part. Okay. All right, so let's do it. So check if it's in the dependencies. So igniter, project, dapps, and then I think it was get something. Get dependency declaration. So it gets the dependency declaration mixed for a given dependency. All right, let's see what that looks like. So let's just do, okay, let's do Phoenix first. I want to know what happens if you don't have the dependency. And we'll return igniter. Okay. Whoopsie, undefined, and what did I spell wrong? install bridge libraries. There we go. Okay. Function get dependency declaration is undefined. I am bad at spelling today. Igniter. Igniter. Okay. So we got the dependency declaration. Looks like that. Now let's do it for something bogus, like bogus. Nope. Cool, you get no. All right, so I think we can just simply start by if Phoenix. That is a long function call. Okay. Else ignited. Okay, so now we know we have Phoenix. So it's now a matter of let's install the bridge library and let's go from there. So we'll do, we've already done this. This is relatively straightforward. Igniter, add dependency, OpenTelemetry Phoenix. Maybe we'll get fancy soon and we'll ping hex for the latest version. I don't know if that's a good idea. Let's check the chat. What does chat think? Whoa, hey. Always check the source code when working with Igniter if possible, because Igniters compose something before. Because someone could say, makes Igniter install Phoenix OpenTelemetry. In this case, one battery away, because you installed apps, we fetch and compile them. Because plug can be there is ready as well. Only someone has written type specs for those functions. Am I doing it right, Zach? Am I on the right track? Also, welcome back, Zach. Zach, for the person who says they are on vacation for the next 2 weeks and unplugging, I question what unplugging means to you. I see. Okay, I'm doing great. Zach, I hope you get some relaxation time. Okay. If okay, he hasn't started yet. Okay, all right. Well, I hope you're going somewhere fun. I'm going to Costa Rica next year. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna go in the jungle. Okay, add dependency. So we're adding OpenTelemetry Phoenix. Let's get the latest version. We're just gonna keep it very simple for now. Mix hex info OpenTelemetry Phoenix. Great. 1, 2. We will append. Okay, so we've added Phoenix. Now what we need to do is we need to, this is pretty easy. So we're gonna do add it to the application module start callback and add this plug. I think, should replace my app. Okay, so we will need your app name. That should be very easy. We've already done that. Okay, so let's figure out how we can inject into the application, which I said it last time like 5 times. I'm gonna say it again. Zach has thought of everything. Okay, so add new child to the children list in the application file. No. Create app, create application file, do add child. No, I think we need our own function here, which, yeah, these are all conveniently for adding children to your application supervisor. That's not what we're doing. We're going to do something similar. So I think we would probably borrow some code from here. But what we're going to do is we're going to find the application file, open it up, go into the start callback. I kind of did this in my PR. Okay, let's see how they do it. So do add child. So igniter application. Okay, so I think we could steal that. We don't need this, we don't need that. So update Elixir file. So, okay, we get the zipper, move to module using I don't exactly know what this does because application is not the name of our application. Oops. So what it was in code, module, so move to module using. Moves the zipper to the body of the module that, oh, I see. Okay, that's cool. So what this is doing is project. Okay, so we need to open this file, right? This is our example applications application module. This is going to move the zipper to inside the module in this file that uses application. That's exactly what we want. That's very smart. It's cool how this is all heuristic based, right? Like this is like, okay, applications use applications. So the heuristic is we'll move into a module that uses application. That's very smart. Okay, so move to module using. Let's steal this code. And then, yeah, we're going to do basically all of this. All of this. This is fun code. Okay, so we want this, right? So let's add our own little helpers. We're going to do add application start function call. That's a very Java function name, but we'll allow it for now. Let's give an MFA. I don't know, man. We'll see. Maybe it's probably just a string. Okay, so we're gonna copy that application. So what do we need here? We have to pass our application name. Where is it? I lost it. Move to module using. Okay, so it should just be your app module. So, I mean, should we just pass this around? I don't know, man. Oh, first. Let's forgot to do this before. Hold on. Okay, so let's update our dependencies. Mix.exs, mix hex info igniter. Let's pull in our PRs, man. 045. Wow, we've jumped in a week. We've jumped a minor version and like a million patch versions. This is cooked. Igniter is hot. Okay, great. Okay. All right, so now we shouldn't need this guy, right? At module, nope, out of here. Okay, so here's the thing. Well, let's stitch this. Actually, let's make sure it works. Let's make sure it works. Whoopsie. One more time. Warning, uncommitted. Oh, man. Oh, that's true. Okay, it's fine. Okay, now we correctly get just the module name, which is what we had fixed. That's great. So that works. Let's go ahead and check this in. Update, great. All right. So the question is, do we care about just calling this little function many times? I don't think performance is a concern. We're just going to call it. We're just going to call it. Okay. So, whatever. I don't care. Okay. So now we get the path by the app module. I think this should do it. Add application start function call. So I think it's going to be OpenTelemetry Phoenix.start. We're going to need adapter. So we're going to need that, but we'll do that next. Let's just make sure that I'm writing the right code here. I'm all basing it off of this blog post. Love that. Okay, that's set up. We'll actually test this to make sure it truly works soon. Setup, great. Okay. What am I testing? Oh, I want to see what the path is. So let's do that. While that bakes. Oh my God. Okay. If only I have someone else, this is going to be, this part is going to be harder. Oh, that's not, wait, that is, don't use that. Don't use proper location. Okay, bye, Derek. Igniter project module to update the module. Okay. Find and update module handles a bunch of that stuff for you. Well, thank you for telling me. It did find the path correctly, but yeah, I don't want to use that if I don't have to. So it sounds like another contribution. Wait, this is deprecated. Use project module. Okay. Project module. Find and update module. Okay, finds a module and updates its contents. All right, well, we are going to use the bang variety. Finds a module and updates its contents. Yes. Okay. So we're going to do project module find and update module, taking the igniter, taking the app module, and the updater, which takes a zipper, I assume, and returns a zipper. Right. Okay. It should return igniter. Should return igniter, which it does not. Why doesn't it? Oh, it's the function. Okay. The function returns okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So it should be okay zipper. Right on. So what we're going to do is we're going to move to the definition of start. So let's see, move to def, right? Move to def, functionality, yes. Which module is that in? Code function. Wait, hold on. Zach is yelling at me to not use that. Find an update. Nailed it. Okay. Igniter. Literally just forgot the name of the function again. Code function. I gotta fix my autocomplete. It needs work. Zipper start 2. So I should get a zipper back, maybe an OK zipper. Let's see. Move to def, OK zipper. Then we're going to want to move into the function. So we're going to do source error. Well, we want to move down. Move down. 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 Source error. Down. Down, down, baby. Okay. Ah, man. Oh, my emails. Code common. I know there was a function, move upwards, move downwards. So I know there's the sorcerer function. I just want to check if there's not like a better way I should be doing this. Move to do block, moves to a do block for the function call. So we found, this is what I'm trying to do here. So we found the definition of start in theory, which let's verify that. Oh no, styler is going to, I don't have styler in this project. Let me write this way. Okay. Let's do no. Man. Igniter. Look at that. Okay. Key assign's not found in OK Igniter. What? Okay, zipper. Do I have to turn it back into an igniter? Well, no, it is an igniter. Where is this happening? Mix, task, do or dry run. Okay, someone somewhere is not returning something correctly, but don't know what. Probably me. I wish I can capture this. I don't know if it's a bug yet. Doer, let's just save this. Save it. Ah. Right, let's just move down. Let's just do it. You know, that's what we're supposed to do. In fact, igniter. Let's look at igniter source. And where did we do it? It was project, application, sorcerer zipper down. Right, so this is what I did in here. I'm assuming I need to do the same thing, so I'm just going to do it. Zipper, sorcerer, zipper down. Zach can yell at me. Okay, and then what we want to do here is we want to inject. Oh, right, sorcerer, zipper, zip. What we want to do here is we want to inject some code, which I don't know how to do off the top of my head. Let's look at this as an example. Tuple element, tuple replace. We don't want to replace. We want to like prepend, insert right. Let's do this. Let's do, and then we'll do sorcerer, zipper, insert left, zipper, and the MFA. I don't know if this is right. It's probably not right. Because I would expect this to be AST. But what do I know? Should we just do it and see what happens? Function, zipper.node, yep. Maybe I should parse this first. Let's see. How they do add child. To supervise. So when it's a atom, it's module, code contents, macro escape contents. Okay. Do I need to macro escape it? Maybe. Well, no, this is, looks like this is expecting modules. I don't know. I do not know. So I don't know what contents is. Do my child. To supervise. code term. What if we quote this? I'm just going to do it as a string, see what happens. Insert left. Okay. So inserts the child to the left sibling without moving, returns the zipper. Right. Okay. So if we do that, which is great and all, so I think there's an additional problem in that we need to make sure we're correctly returning an igniter from this instead of the zipper. Or is the problem that this is not a zipper, but igniter? I don't know. Insert child. So here they're just returning a zipper. Move to list. I don't know, man. Let's try it. Okay. What did I do wrong? That looks right. That's not right. Okay. All right, well, a sign's not found in OK Igniter, so something is wrong. I guess it's maybe I shouldn't be returning OK here. Let's try it. Case clause, no clause matching zipper. Okay, let's look at the stream first. Finding update module, add code. There we go. What's up, Andreas? Matter code common, add code takes a string. I just realized you're wearing your Ash shirt. Yes, I am. Got one early on. Oh man. Okay. Code common, add code. So it takes this. Okay, this is what we want because this is going to return. Oh, it returns a zipper too. All right, whatever. Parse string zip, right? So it adds code root toString. That returns the zipper. Well, okay, where am I going wrong here? So project module 201, OTOL installer, run. Stack trace is not helpful. I think the problem is that find an update module. I'm missing the bang. I'm missing the bang. How could I be missing the bang? The only problem. I do think this needs to be OK zipper. Yeah, my whole Elixir. Yes. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. So let's see. It's going to insert it on line 23. So let's look at our application, line 23. It's going to insert it right here, which isn't wrong, but also isn't where I would expect it to go. Is the problem that I did the down? Let's remove the down. Let's see what happens if we do this. I don't think so, because down, that would be a moving right. Oh, wow. Okay, so I think we want leftmost here. So we're going to do zipper is equal to igniter. Let's find it. Left. No. I know there's rightmost. Right? All the way to the right. So we want to move to the beginning of the block, which... move upwards, move left. I don't understand why. Is that just how add code works? Is there like a prepend option? There might be a prepend option. Add code. Yes, placement after. Okay, okay. Guys, Zach has thought of everything. Why don't you get this? Why don't you understand? Right. Right. It's working perfectly. Okay, this is pretty cool. All right, so we're at a spot. We haven't done the whole thing, so everyone calm down. But we're at a spot where we detect that you have Phoenix. We then, because we know you've detected it, we add the bridge library to your deps, and then we inject code into your application start function. Okay, this is so fucking cool. Oh man. Yeah, this is some dope shit right here, because this is something you just can't do with like all the existing tooling that we have in Elixir. And actually, in probably most languages is maybe not fair, but like if I'm thinking in the JavaScript world, I don't know of any tools that are this good. Like this is really good. This is really fucking dope. Okay. Sorry. Pause for excitement. Let's check the chat. Is the chat hype too? Missing a bang. Should have listened to Zach. I think move to def actually puts you inside the function by default. Add code as the third argument. Yes. Okay. I refuse to calm down. It's time. That's right. This is definitely not something you do in most languages. That's fair. What languages can you do this in? Like what's the igniter in other languages? Like I know JavaScript has some amount of tooling for AST manipulation, which would be like the sorcerer. But like igniter is a layer on top. I mean, Rust definitely has some AST tooling. They have code shift. Let's look at code shift real quick. Code shift, is that JavaScript? Oh, it's a Facebook project. Okay, but it's definitely not as cool as this. We know that. Even if it is as cool, we're gonna say it's not. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that. Okay, yeah, this is the same idea. I think the difference here is like Elixir tends to be more vertically integrated, where because we're a smaller community, for better or for worse, there's a little bit more of a monoculture around projects and tooling and things like that. But what's cool about that is I think once community adoption starts to get to a good place, which it has in many ways, these tools then get adopted by everyone and things get moving. So like this is why we're doing this, right? I think this is like the first step towards, for me personally, like getting an igniter thing working. But then I think it's then about showing how easy it is and then getting everyone to use this. So it's like you can, mix ignite any project. Okay, all right. Let's check the chat. Yeah, super integrate. Yes, exactly. There's AST module built into Python, and they use it to migrate from Python 2 to 3. Well, that migration went really well, famously, the Python 2 to 3 migration. No problems there, no hitches. But yes, I keep saying this. I know that certain members of the chat didn't want to get involved in the conversation, but like, I fundamentally believe there is a lot to be desired about the Phoenix Heeks templates, and a partial argument for why not to do it has been that it would be hard to migrate. But tooling like Igniter makes those kinds of things possible. And I want to just emphasize that this type of tooling makes it really easy for libraries to be able to do breaking change modifications programmatically, but also you could potentially refactor your entire application private code base with this tool. So that's awesome. It was super painful for everyone involved. Yes, it was. At some point, I'll be adding Igniter recompile. That is very cool. That is very cool. Wow. All right. Actually, Zach, it's kind of the perfect time to build a tool like that because of all the LSP tooling that's going into Elixir 118. So I think part of that would allow you to concurrently do things like that. So have multiple things that potentially doing it without breaking because of the Unix pipe lock. I'm assuming you do that off to the side. I don't know. This is all exciting. Okay, all right, we've got to an exciting place, but let's keep going. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. And we've got 7 minutes to be not done yet. So, okay, so we proved we could do this. We also need to add the plug. So now that we've add application start function call, let's add the plug. So this is going to be a one-off. Now this is even easier. Find and update module. Okay, so now we need to find your app's router. This is a little bit trickier. How can I get your router programmatically and make sure that it's correct? Actually, it's not your router, it's your endpoint. Well, for one, it's here. Find an update module. Oh my God. Okay. Zach has thought of everything. Okay. This is ridiculous, Zach. It really is ridiculous. Okay. Wow. Okay. Add pipeline, router scope, endpoints for router. Endpoints for router might be it, but first we need to find a router. List routers, sure. So I guess there could be multiple routers, which is why this exists. Controller, sure. Pin to pipeline, add scope. Okay. So we want endpoints for router. So let's add that. So we're in Igniter libs Phoenix. Okay, so oh, hey there. Add plugs to endpoints. It's not the best name. It's kind of not true, but Phoenix plugs to. Okay. So what is the first thing we need to do? The first thing we need to do is get your router, or your endpoints router. We need to get your router. So list routers. Okay. Igniter for router. And Igniter libs Phoenix list routers. We can do this as reduce. Okay, let's do this as reduce for fun. Because why not? So now we need to do, we'll do reduce inside of it. So we need to do igniter pipe. Igniter libs Phoenix endpoints for router. Wait, there could be multiple endpoints for a single router? List of endpoints that use a given router. Okay, sure, why not? For router, so endpoints for router takes the igniter and the router. So igniter and the router, which is router. So we'll then reduce over the igniter. Right, so that should return a list. Oh, so it returns igniter and the modules. Okay, so not exactly. Okay, so now we're going to give it the endpoints, igniter, and then endpoint, igniter. So now what we want to do is we want to inject the plug, which should look like this. So be sure to replace my app with the name of your app, and ensure you have a call to plug telemetry. Oh wait, fuck, do we need to do this? We should already have this. I might just skip this part. I mean, I know, I guess we could detect it, but newer, okay, so newer Phoenix projects are going to have this. Older ones are not. I don't know what should be the right strategy here on like backwards compatibility. I mean, ideally we can detect this, but I feel like I'm wasting time here right now, and that I don't know that we want that. Let's see what my app does. So got all this fun stuff. So I don't have anything about OpenTelemetry in my endpoint. Cool. Should also ensure to call plug telemetry. I think I just leaked my signing salt. I think we gotta change that now. All right, note to self: change signing salt. That is a hard thing to say. Okay, so we're not going to do that. I just decided we're not going to do that. Bye bye. Bye bye. What we do need to do, and how much time we have? It's noon. All right, you know what? We'll do this in the next live stream. I'm pretty satisfied with the direction here. I know we didn't write like a lot of code net, but I do think we have like a solid strategy for how we're going to move forward here. I'm also like trying to get comfortable with the Igniter API, which I feel like is like very much in flux, which I appreciate. I do want to do more PRs to Igniter because I'm excited about it. Look at that! Found a new PR right here. Let's end with a PR, guys. Let's end with a PR. That's always the right way. Must be on a branch. All right, we're gonna do this. Igniter. How does everyone feel? Do we feel like we're moving in the right direction? Is this the future? Where are we? What was it? Removes. Oh, did someone already get it? No, hold on. Elsewhere, upstream, and there it is. Gotta love those one character PRs. Okay. So what did we do today? Let's recap here. We are now detecting which libraries you use, and by libraries, we started with Phoenix, but now we can detect you have Phoenix in your mix.exs. Based on that, we install the correct bridge library for it, and then inject that bridge library specific code into your application callback. Before we end here, I just want to test one little thing, which is in theory, this should work if we uninstall Phoenix. So let's go ahead and we'll comment this out. And so now if I do this, oh man, my editor is broken. It's very broken, guys. Wow, do you see that? Did it again. Next steps, get. Oh, it's still broken. This is crazy. What is going on here? Oh my God. Okay, come on. Please don't do it again. Why is it doing that? Okay. All right, we'll settle with that. So it should not do the bridge library installation, which it does not. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. All right. Let's check the chat before we wrap up here. What are we saying? So you can recompile. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to see if I can talk LSP folks into using Igniter for code actions under the hood. That's very cool. Oh, Andrew's here. What's up, Andrew? Got a rude awakening coming up on return of list routers. Fun fact, if you build this right, you can make it idempotent, so whenever people add another library, they can just rerun your installer. Yes, that is a goal that we'll definitely have. We should be able to run this many, many times. Totally, I'm mostly hyped for a PR. Wow. A maggot, nice. Yes, I use Emacs for better, for worse, probably for worse. Yeah, no, so the issue is that like it's not a formatter bug. Well, it might be. It's that the LSP thing inside of like the generic LSP thing for Emacs, it like accidentally takes like that buffer and then inserts text in from here. It's very silly. My whole Emacs installation is very broken, and I just haven't gotten around to fixing it, but this one is infuriating. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you everyone who came. This was fun. We're gonna do this again. Next week is Code Beam, and I'm gonna be on a podcast called Developer Voices next week, talking about smart TV development and Lou Earl and Elixir and all these kinds of things. I'm very excited. That's one of my favorite podcasts. So I'm not going to do the live stream next week. The following week, I think, is Thanksgiving week. I don't know, but I'll probably do one in 2 weeks. Yeah, thank you everyone who came. This was really cool. I hope to see you all again. Zach, take some time off. Enjoy it. This is awesome. Developer Voices, hell yeah. All right, later everybody.